peanut, bro. He loved that shit.
That shit was good. I buttered up this top, put a little bit of Italian herbs on there, and then I put some Parmesan.
Yeah, I made that for peanut, bro. He loved that shit.
It was ridiculous. It was really good. I kind of want to drink.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Let me let
You said
me.
you wanted to drink.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that what he just said?
I think he said that.
I think that's what he said.
I think he said that. Bro, my hair is getting long.
Bro, I had my hair down all day today. I look like a fucking wildebeest. I literally had my hair down from the moment I woke up until probably about 20 minutes ago.
Chad, Chad. Alrighty, what's up, guys?
Who's
Welcome
Chad?
to the usual Tuesday podcast. Who are my lovely co-hosts, Corpse Collections
Wow,
and
my
Save
boy is on
Warner.
today.
Listen, today marks a grave day for America, and us as a podcast. No, listen, I'm trying not to be so doomer. I'm doing research. I've been telling these guys I've been doing a lot of research, and so we'll leave it at that. I'm learning.
Ah, fuck that, bro. Every single immigrant in the world is gonna fucking be deported. Every fucking trans person and woman is gonna lose their rights. Gay people are not gonna be allowed to get married anymore. Fucking, we're about to be in a dictatorship.
So there was one thing I definitely wanted to touch on with this, right? Because again, I'm a Bernie voter. I was a Bernie guy. He disappointed me with some stuff that he did in Congress, not as far as like what he did, not running again, this and that. I get why he didn't run again. He's old as fuck. He doesn't want to do that. Like I get it.
He's out of the game.
One thing, there was two
game.
things, right? There was two things, and I actually had to rewind the game tape. The Democrats, not one point during the whole presidential election, not even, well, there was three things, right? First, the first most weirdest thing that I remembered was that Joe Biden had said he was going to be a one-term president. He said that he was going to serve one term, put America back on course, and he would step away.
Byron.
Right? Lied. Two, so but we all know whoever gets power wants to keep power. That's not off brand
Wait,
with
what?
fucking
Lied
politicians.
and what?
He said that he was going to be a one-term president. When he campaigned,
He was a one-term president.
no, but he went up for re-election. He wanted to serve a second term.
He also stepped down.
He
wasn't like
forced-
he's old.
He
was kind of forced to step
he
down.
was forced to step down. Let's stop. Stop. They
Yes,
West
yes,
winged him.
but-
They West winged him.
Listen, whether that's true or not, he stepped down. I mean, what?
Yes, so he stepped down, but the intent to even go for it a second time is my problem, right? Something I noticed, and I had to rewatch the game tape, was not once did they mention workers' wages, right?
Who didn't? Oh, the Dems.
The Democrats, and that's been the first time that I could ever remember. Like, I remember Barack Obama talking about raising the minimum wage, and I remember asking my dad, like, what does that mean? And he's like, well, that means, like, no matter where you work, they can't pay you less than this, and doesn't matter if you're 16 or 17 years old, like working like ROP, like, I don't know if you guys had that in your high school where the seniors could leave school early to go work and shit. You know what I mean? It was a part of like a sixth period type shit. But yeah, no, they didn't talk about that at all. And I found out that of the voters, there was some kind of weird statistic where in the polls it showed that people of higher income voted Democrat, where people of lower income, it was like, I think like the margin was like under $100,000 or something like that a year. So your higher earners are now all running blue, right? And where it used to be the opposite just a few years ago. I remember just 2 presidencies ago, it was like, yeah, Republican guys are just a bunch of rich people, like, you know what I mean, who are just trying to sit on their money and they don't want taxes, and then like the Democrats was like the people, like, like anti, like fuck that, fuck your censorship, fuck you guys trying to tell us what to do, blah 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 blah, like. And it's really switched up. So I'm interested, especially after the election and the way that it all turned out. Like, I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm not even in particular this presidency, but what do the parties look like going forward? because he can only be president for so long.
It's kind of crispy clear how the parties look right now, in my opinion.
The Dems are scrambling.
They definitely have a look. I'll tell you that much.
My question is, right, so Bernie Sanders and Nancy Pelosi's been going at it. I don't know if you guys saw that. And this is not to get too political, but because Bernie's not a guy, and I guess this can kind of go into a topic I brought up with you guys, is Bernie's not the type of guy to go after someone, right? Like really be dogging him. And he kind of dogged on Nancy Pelosi. And it just makes me like, and these are like two of like the old guard, you know? And it makes me wonder who's the new guard. Because we kind of see it with Trump's, I don't want to call him his cabinet just
new
yet.
Guard, AOC?
Yeah, and who's the other Muslim chick? Omar I think she's from Chicago.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm gonna try to look it up.
What are you gonna look up? That Muslim chick?
Muslim.
Omar.
She was
with a K.
No, she was a part of she was a part of that group that that her and AOC and all them joined up and created out there. What was the name of their little group?
Well, anyway, that's the point. What was the point? You just want to see what the new school is gonna look like.
Yeah, and like how do these people even like maintain themselves? You know, AOC came in and I thought she was promising, but now she's kind of like, I feel like DC kind of got their fingers wrapped around her, you know?
She's kind of hot, though.
She's hot. Dude, she's a babe. But DC's got their claws in her now. Do you hear her now when she talks? And, like, some of the talking points she makes?
I watched some shit that she did the other day. I don't remember what the fuck it was. I saw it, but... Yeah, she's pretty aggressive.
I haven't... I don't know what we're talking about. So that's why I'm just chilling. Listening because I have no idea.
Let me ask you this, D. I want because last time we haven't talked in 2 weeks, and obviously we know who the new president. We haven't done a podcast. We haven't done a podcast talk in 2 weeks, and since then we know who the president is. Since then, you and I have talked. I don't know if you and Putch, but you and I have talked. Kind of lengthy extent, I think. Yeah, we we saw kind of what was going on in our circle of friends and things that have happened. So since the election to right now, is your stance still the same? What kind of research have you done? Obviously, I don't expect you to be like, oh no, yeah, I'm full like Trump now, because I don't even think Korpsx and I are. You know, I know for a fact we're not full Trump. We're just agree more with some of his views than.
Oh no, y'all are pretty hype. It's okay.
I'm definitely hyped that he won.
No, hype would be like I got a MAGA hat and shit. Like,
yeah, you're never gonna.
I would post shit on my Instagram.
Yeah,
like I'm not hype.
No.
Like I said, the lesser of two evils.
You guys don't do that because of the political landscape currently and how people chat about it.
Well, I could honestly give a fuck. If people unfollow me because of that, I could give a fuck.
I say disparaging shit about women consistently on this podcast.
Yeah,
bro.
but those are all jokes.
So what, bro? Listen.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
At the end of the day, bro, the way I grew up, who you vote for was supposed to be private. So now that it's not anymore and people are like, it's like a gang, I think it's ridiculous.
My thing is let's say block me, whatever, because I vote for whoever I vote for. Right. Let's run the gamut and let's play the multiverse. Let's play in a universe where my person, right, does everything and becomes the greatest person of all time. How are you going to feel about those words you said? Are you going to say sorry? Are you going to say my bad? Because I know if my person ended up being fucked up and all this shit, not only would I apologize, right, and be like, hey, man, I made a bad decision, right? But I would also vote differently. in a universe where this person is just mediocre, they didn't really do any good or do any bad, what does that conversation look like, right? That's the one that to me becomes the most curious, because it's like, are you just going to find these random things to be like, oh, well, what about this? They didn't do this exactly how they said, or, oh, they did this, but not exactly like, so when it comes to the politicians, bro, they're going to be in office for 4 years, 2 years. Right? Like, these people aren't there forever, fam. And hopefully the next time around, there's a better candidate that I could fucking vote for. I don't believe in sitting idly anymore, though, when it comes to like, should I cast it? Well, I don't really like either candidate, blah, 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 blah. Like, for a long time, people got away with voting for the cabinet type statements, right? So it's kind of like, bro, like, if you're not even really voting for the person, then why are you becoming so invested with who the other person is fucking voting for, dog? Just because you don't like them or whatever the fuck, like, whatever your reasoning might be, like. And I just don't see why there has to be such a tie up between it, right? Like Cisco don't eat fucking cold tortillas. I'm not gonna fucking bang on him about fucking not eating cold tortilla. Like, what?
I don't. I'll throw them away, bro. I don't give a fuck.
That's crazy as fuck to me. And I think that's disrespectful to food. But I love Cisco. Like, I love Cisco.
I'll throw cold tortillas away, bro. I will not eat them.
He's a fucking Eagles fan, bro. Like, how am I supposed to be cool with this? I just am, because I love him, and I think his football choice might be poor, but we're still friends. He loves me even though I was a Bernie fan. What's the problem with that?
That's absolutely.
I think Bernie is fucking a senile old fucking man.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
I think it all sounds good, what he says. I think it sounds good, but it's not doable, unfortunately. Like, it's just.
I was even having a thought of, isn't it a beautiful thing, right, to be amongst friends? Because amongst my friends, I can be my most authentic self, right? And amongst friends, we are able to see things, right, from different perspectives and exchange that information. For whatever reason, right, like, whatever the political topic, right, or whatever the topic, social justice, whatever. I might lean one way, this person might lean the other, right? And I just don't see why, unless unless I was hurting one of you guys, like going out and physically hurting someone or someone you love, right? I don't see why we can't be cool. Like, sure,
but that's what I was talking about I was talking about this with my mom, and I was talking about it with my homie Cause, who was on here, and his old lady, is that sometimes it just comes down to a moral standpoint, and some people view your political views as moral. And if you find somebody morally wrong, like if you think somebody's morally wrong, you're not gonna be cool with them. Like, they're not gonna be your friend. And some people view this whole thing as like a moral thing, which is wild.
I just think I just don't, like, let's say I'm a Southern Baptist, right? I'm Southern Baptist Christian, right? No way am I going to believe in same-sex marriages. No way, right? No way am I going to believe in that. In what realm is it still not okay for me to have a gay friend? Right? Like, I could still be friends with these people. Matter of fact, my faith encourages me to do so.
I don't think you would. Because wouldn't that
be like Korpsx wouldn't.
No. I'm saying as a
No, truly. As a Christian, your mission is to befriend those people. To befriend them, show them love, be kind to them. And in that walk, right, you're supposed to be the example that will lead them back to righteousness. You get what I'm saying? Where people get it fucked up and they think, no, I'm going to whack you over the top of the head with this Bible, right? And beat it into you. Instead of saying, oh, I live, like, hey, Putch lives this life. He lives a good life. Hey, bro, what's the secret? I pray.
I think Korpsx is also trying to say, like, just because he doesn't believe that gay people should get married. Not that he doesn't. I'm just for the example,
An
by the way,
example.
guys. Okay, because
Full disclaimer.
Corpse doesn't care who gets married to who. But let's just say Corpse didn't believe in gay marriage. That doesn't mean that he hates gays.
Can't be, or like they're an existential crisis to me, right? Do I
He
believe?
just thinks they shouldn't get married.
Yeah. Do I think that there's a crisis? Like, could somebody make the connection to say, well, they're threatening marriage? Okay, cool. You can have that argument, right? And you guys can. That's where the politics part happened, right? And maybe me as the Christian and them as, you know, the same sex, like maybe we could have a discussion where I can convince you in one way to see my way, or maybe you can have a conversation with me to see it your way, and we can still be friends, dog. Like, I just think we're so quick to insult, right? Like, and especially with social media and the way that people can just like Google shit and drop it in a fucking comment. It's like, bro, you're headline reading right now on me. Like, you didn't even read this fucking article. Like, read the article, bro. Like, this doesn't serve your point. And on top of that, like, are you trying to like sun me right now when I'm trying to have a conversation with you? Like, are you trying to get a gotcha? Fucking like gotcha, bitch. Like, gotcha moment.
Bitch.
Yeah, gotcha, bitch. Like, you know, is that what we're doing, dude? Or are we having an adult conversation because I'm trying to gain understanding on your perspective? You know, like, I think we're missing that in a real fucking way these days.
But I want to go back to my question, D. Now that you've got to sit and do a little bit of research, like, what are your thoughts on everything? Is the world going to end?
I hope not.
It's impossible. The world's not going to end.
No, bro. The world
Would have ended. It would have ended 4 years ago.
Has some impossible things in it. Things that have never happened are happening all the time.
Very true.
So, sorry, really quick. Let me silence my phone. I think in doing more and more research, I'm truly, I know you guys don't believe me, but I'm really truly trying to come at this unbiasedly. I've watched like the Trump interview. I watched the.
You watch it again?
I'm not gonna submit myself to that torture again. Also, the absolute, I can't believe
You said you were going to do it. You said that you were going to do it. For the record,
I tried. I just can't. So JD Vance podcast, I also watched. I just finished it actually, and with JD Vance's podcast, I actually did it a little bit different.
His was
Trump's,
good.
With Trump's, I just listened to it. JD Vance is way fucking better.
His is good, bro.
Bro, I
haven't watched it. I haven't watched it.
I cannot believe anybody could put these two in the same realm, and one of them, and it's the worst one, unfortunately, just conversationally, was the one leading the United States of America. It was insane. Yeah, I don't know. Because at least with the JD Vance one, it sounded like a real conversation.
Was it good? Was it good?
So I need to define good. Was it a good conversation?
Oh my God.
It was a good conversation. It was good.
Did you enjoy any of his talking points?
So in a lot of them, I'll show you my fucking phone. Even in the car, I was like, is this true? I have 44 pages that I have to read. Not all of these are research, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these are just kind of fun shit. But there's 44 pages total. A lot of these, it starts from probably right here. A lot of these are just, these are like talking points that I need to research that I'm like, is this even true? There were so many things that I'm like, this doesn't sound real. And so I want to look into it more. There were some in there, and just like on the light reading that I was able to read on things like the voter fraud and they want immigrants to be sent over to swing states.
Yes.
I couldn't find any evidence of that.
That was proven. No, that's proven. It's already been proven.
It's not. Not only that, but illegal immigrants cannot vote.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't. And even in
California.
They can't. Every state won.
Yes, they can. As long as they have an ID, they can vote.
They don't even need an ID.
One, they don't even need an ID. But two, the way that the voting structure is done, you get cross-reference with your location, deceased people, your citizenship. So one, you can't vote. I read in an article. I'm not trying to do a gotcha. I read in an article that within the years, I could pull it up, but within the years,
what's the source?
it was, I want to say BBC. Hold on, I could bring it up.
I mean, I could just tell you from my own experience, right? Like, not even an article.
So I believe.
I mean, my cousin voted and he's illegal, so I'm just saying.
Bro,
So
I'm just saying.
they had 3 addresses for me. When I put my name down, they had 3 different addresses for me. She's like, "Oh, which one would you like to be listed as your current address?" And I just told her, right?
Oh, they still have my Winkle Way address. I had to change it.
So
I was like, "Oh."
And I have to read the entire article, but just because you submit a form doesn't mean that it's counted. And then in terms of, I'm trying to read, it is BBC, by the way. The amount of, I'm trying to get the exact like dates. I think it was like 2011 to 2023. There was like an account of probably like 500 accounted for votes from like illegal immigrants. And so it doesn't like affect that many.
No, so
you can't swing an election like that.
No, you can't. Because I want to put aside
Source?
statistics. Right?
Wait, what? That's literally
No.
What do you
Put
mean?
aside.
No, I'm gonna. I'll come back. We'll come back and reference this in our group chat.
Okay.
All I'm
I can
saying
send you guys the article. Yeah.
is all the states that she won were all the same states that required no voter ID. All I'm gonna say, I don't think that's coincidence, right? I don't also think that it's coincidence that all those states were all the ones that also seen the highest influx of fucking immigration, right? The same states that were the battleground states and swing states for Trump last election that he lost. This year he won in a landslide. I think there is some weird when you say, oh, well, it would require this many votes, or, oh, not all of them are counted. I think it's really good jargon for them to pack in there to just say, like, zoom out, look at the electoral college, look at what fucking counties voted where, right? Look at where went where, and then you'll see where the fucking discrepancies are, right? The moment they started calling Pennsylvania for Trump, I was like, hey, everybody needs to review 2020, which is starting to happen.
The
But
election?
yes,
Didn't they already went through
Talking
it? It
about
was
the
like
2 million missing votes.
there's been more and more votes. There's been more and more. There's
They
been
already-
20
they
million. I think it was
They
20
already
million.
did this, and there was no election fraud.
0.
I'm just saying, where's the 20 million votes?
Keep up. There has been new. There's been new
I
calls
could
for
read up on
new.
it, but
There's
as
been
far
new
as I
calls.
know,
There's just been new calls. There's been new calls.
I mean, there was a lot of votes missing, bro. This
But like,
year.
where do you guys read this?
Where
The
do you
amount of
read
votes placed in 2020
Where did you read
and-
it? Like what?
I'm watching it on the
on
news.
the television.
Yeah, I'm watching it on the news.
Okay, but then I would need an article or a broadcast or something.
Like, yeah, no, and breaking points. I even posted it on my Facebook. People, if you guys want to listen, and this is not a sponsored ad, but if you guys want to listen to a very good political podcast that has one host who's a Democrat, one host who's a Republican, and they are very fair on their comments, at least in my opinion, they are very, very fair and unbiased, is Breaking Points podcast, but they will talk about it all the time. There is serious implications that they're moving towards. That's that's conspiracy theorist type shit. But there's reasons why this election pushed through the way that it did. And
Okay, wait. I still want to know the answer to my question though. Like, where are you at with everything since you've been doing research? Like, is your views still the same?
I mean, yes. I think in terms of when they were running, Trump had no policies. So I don't know. I really don't know why people voted for him. In terms of like what he's wanting to do now, I mean, people could say like, oh yeah, see, like he hasn't always wanted to do this. Like he could have said this and that would have been nice. That would have been a cool thing to reference, but he didn't. In terms of I mean, that's kind of a broad question. What are you trying to get at?
I just want to know if you still think in your head Trump bad,
I don't think I've ever.
Harris better.
I don't know if I've ever like. This is the thing. I feel like that's what you think. I think is that I think Trump bad. I don't necessarily like. I'm trying to figure out. I've heard a lot of things that seem pretty bad, so I'm trying to figure out. Okay, are these things true? And vice versa. I mean, I've currently listening to a lot of like more right leaning material. So of course I'm gonna dig into
Yeah,
like
you gotta stop
their
listening to that
claims.
guy, bro. Gotta stop
Who?
listening to that guy.
Destiny, my lord and
Bro,
Savior.
that dude is a fucking pansy motherfucker.
I really don't know
like,
how you think he's radical. I really don't get it.
I think.
Destiny?
No. I said that one thing that he said was radical. Oh, and I never sent you the video. I gotta find it.
No, you said he's just like Hassan. He's radical.
He is just like Hassan. I don't think I said radical though. I really don't think I said that. But
He's
Anyway,
about as He's about as close to radical as it can get.
he is very similar to Hassan, and I do not like him. I tried to give him a chance because I know you like him. I just do not like him. I do not like the way he speaks.
Okay.
I don't like the way he speaks. I don't like the way it's very biased. I don't know. I just don't like it personally. I don't like it.
What I like, my thing, especially with some of these guys who are wannabe like political pundits, right?
Wait. But time out. But for the record, I've also gone on record saying like I don't like Charlie Kirk. I don't like Ben Shapiro. I mean, I like Ben Shapiro a little bit. I don't like Steven Crowder. I don't like them. So just for the record, the same kind of people that are on the Republican side or the right side, I don't like them either. I think it's very extreme.
Yeah, like the Kirks. Like my thing is like with the Kirks and them, right? I appreciate that they were the group that would go post up at a college, right, and have these open forum debates, right? No,
and I do like them better because I never feel like I feel like more on the left side when it comes to those debaters or like the online guys that talk about this shit. I feel like whenever they sit in front of one another with like the opposition, they always try and do the like gotcha instead of like having an actual conversation.
Also, sorry, really quick, I gotta say, I made a little joke saying Destiny's my Lord and Savior. I don't like saying that shit, so my bad, God. I was gonna say that because I said it out loud. No, I don't like.
You guys are in a cult, dude. It's all right. They got you brainwashed, bro.
No. Genuinely though, Destiny. This is what I don't understand. I feel like Destiny's genuinely. Well, obviously he's on the left, right? But he was on the right. By the way, I feel like I could have very well been on the extreme, not extreme right, but on the right for sure. I was definitely going down that path when it came to like Jordan Peterson. I was a big fan of before he went on just far right or right, if you want to say. And I was starting to listen to people like Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder. Like I genuinely liked these people. I thought their content was good. When I got into Destiny, I thought, okay, this is somebody on the left who I really like. He does his research. He has research streams going through articles, going through papers, going through all of these peer review things. And this is why I think like this is really cool. I like seeing that process of like, how did you get to A to B? How did you get to B to C? And then seeing that fleshed out within his arguments and debates. I think he's probably one of the most well-equipped people in the political space. So that's why I like him.
And that's what made you go left? You don't think Shapiro and Kirk and Crowder, you don't think they do all that? Like, where do you think they're pulling their numbers from?
I'm saying I could see his process. That's what I like.
What I don't, Destiny, and there's been a couple other ones, right? There was one of the dudes. Matter of fact, I've been on one of his debates on TikTok, but he got with Charlie Kirk on that little table thing that they were trying to do.
Is it that blonde
circle?
Kid?
Yeah, the little circle one with the flag.
Yeah, I hate that kid, bro. That kid, that's one of those gotcha kids that I do not like watching him speak at all.
Right, and I noticed this in his debates, right? And I've noticed this a lot, and this example I can only really make with the Democrats, right? But it happens with Republicans too. But I remember there was this thing where he was saying like, oh, you know, somebody was trying to make a point because it was biblical. He's like, oh, so do you think that everything biblically should be law? He's like, yeah, most of it. You know, he's like, yeah. He's like, I believe most of it should be law. Blah blah blah. He's like, oh well, then incest is okay with you. He's like, no, incest isn't okay with me. He's like,
I think I saw this.
and it's like, well, in the Bible, he's like, yeah, but hold on. You know, at one point was it acceptable? Yeah, it was. But if you read further on, you know, it clearly denounces it, right? And it's like, no, but it says it right here. It's like, yeah, we know. Like, let's talk scripture then. It's like, well, no, I don't want to have to recite scripture. It's like, I'm not prepared. It's like, well, you don't get to move.
I saw that clip.
You don't get to move the goalpost, dog, when it serves your argument. Like, you are trying to pigeonhole this conversation with this one. Like, it's the stupid part of like even Trump's whole persona, right? This is like, what's the saying is, how do you prove a negative? It's like, once you're labeled something, right? It's like, there's no way to disprove it once it's already been selected, right? Like if somebody said, oh, Putch is a racist, right? And that became a part of the zeitgeist. There's no way for me to disprove it, right? I could be like, yo, I have a mixed child. He's just saying that. You know what? He has a predatory like, what is it like? Sexualization of mixed women. Like, what do you mean? Like, what?
Oh, that's why I hate what's his face, bro. Doctor Kumbo or whatever the fucking name is. You know what I'm talking about?
Dr. Kumar or whatever.
Bro,
Kumar.
I hate that motherfucker.
We were talking about him recently, weren't we? We were talking recently on the podcast.
Yeah, I fucking hate him, bro. I despise that man.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean, bro? Like, and he says shit like that. Like, whoa, dog. Like, sure, like maybe I do have a preference, like, you know what I'm saying, but don't try to make it seem like this is some kind of, and that is what I definitely see from like people like Destiny, oh boy, right? And it just pisses me fucking off. Charlie Kirk in them, he makes fine points, right? I think he makes some of the finer points. I really like when Vivek has went out and done these things.
My man, that's my boy right there.
Very educating, like, you know what I mean? And not educating like sunning them, like, I'm gonna sun you. He's like, whoa, hold on. Do you know what it means? Do you mind me explaining it? Okay, like, you know, and then he's like, just like trying to calmly, like, hold on, I'm trying to make my point here. Like, you know, you asked me the question, I'm making my point. Instead of you know, like, you know how Charlie, like, can you recite, you know, Job's chapter 3, verse 14 for me? It's like, that's sunning them.
Yeah, but the thing about Kirk, and that's what I don't like. Like, sometimes he'll get to somebody else's level and then like sun them, and I'm like, come on, bro.
We're not doing
that.
And
then other times I see him like, you know, like being respectful, like, hey, thank you for the courage to come up here and speak, and this, that, and the other. Like, I've never seen somebody on the left that goes out and does that and like is respectful like that ever. Not one single time, ever. It's like they're always trying to sun them. They're always trying to fucking gotcha. They're always trying to like circle back and be like, oh, well, that's not what you said, right? Like, there's no respectfulness at all ever. I've never seen it, and I hope to find like clips of it that of people that are like that on the left, but I've never seen it ever.
And I think, see, like, I like the idea that they're going for, right? And this is what I hope people can kind of, because I know we said we weren't going to get too political with this, so I hope I can kind of round this out a little bit. Is we even have this podcast, right, where we've all had our own political disagreements. You know, I didn't believe Girl should have won the medals for boxing. You guys, you know, and we've had that discussion. We've had the discussions over foods and
we did
the marriages and everything, right? And we've had all these discussions, and there was never been a time, right, where I feel like it was so disrespectful, right, or so outrageous, right? Like, dog, we've all used Opus clips, right? Like, it didn't clip any moment that went haywire, you know what I mean? So we never had such a gotcha fucking moment, foot in your mouth. And I like that Destiny. I don't like that they picked Destiny as the hero, but I like that they put him out there, right? Especially towards the end. I've seen a lot of his videos really starting to get pumped out of him doing these circle talks or the debates, like his debate with what's his fucking name, Milo. Oh
yeah, that was a crazy debate.
That was crazy. And
Milo
homeboy was like
fucking unhinged, bro.
homeboy was like
Is
drunk.
that the one where they're sitting at like the big wood table?
No,
Yeah.
they're at 2 podiums.
Oh yeah, no, the podiums. Yeah, the like two
Yeah.
wood podiums.
Oh, I saw one where they were sitting at a big wood table. I don't remember which one.
See, and I had heard of Milo before, and I heard like he was like a major troll,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
never really knew who he was. And then I think they said he was drunk during the debate and shit, and it was like he just sounded sloppy. Period.
Bro,
and I don't know
he-
if that's a solid excuse.
I never watched him personally, but he's gone through, like, from what I've heard only, he was like I thought he was like proud to be like a gay Republican, and then like denounced the fact that he was gay, said that he was straight, then like super Christian religious, and then he was like back to, I don't know, and then now he was like at some point he was like on the infomercials for like selling jewelry or something like that, and then
Jeez.
back into like the political space where he's like denouncing it but has a husband. And yeah, bro, it's crazy.
I ain't gay no more.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then, yeah, he went unhinged on just to touch really quick on that, like on the Destiny Circle Republican thing. I honestly don't necessarily like it either when he gets super riled up. I think for me personally, it would be cool to like tone it down, but I mean that's just his MO, and that's his,
It's all their rails, bro.
You know what I really want to see? It's not even them on a podcast, right? Because I think they got that muscle down already too. I would like to just fucking smoke a cigarette, bro. Just turn the fucking cameras off, turn the lights off. Let's grab a beer, bro. Let's have a cigarette. Tell me what you really think, because it's not what you really think. This isn't.
I think it's what he
Like
really thinks.
you've watched those circle things, right, D?
Yeah, and
Like
I don't know if they're
Democrats
necessarily
versus the
gay.
cop, or like Democrats versus Charlie Kirk and Democrats versus Ben Shapiro.
I've only seen like 2. I saw the Ben Shapiro one, another one from Kamala Harris's camp, and either it was her camp or like just her side in general, and then Destiny. I think those are the only 3 that I've really watched.
There's not. Dude,
Wait, Destiny did a sit down one where people debated against him.
mhm.
They went
Oh,
unhinged at the end, bro. They were talking about how his wife got fucking railed by, bro. I was like, Jesus.
Oh, I gotta watch that one. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen clips of it.
Yo, that's so fucking weird. It was
See,
weird.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You may have
Because
all
now I
these
want to
views.
see the opposition from what I was talking about. Like how I said, the left always gets like unhinged on the people from the right that are sitting there. If it's the opposite in that video, then I want to see that too.
Oh, bro, no, there's people who get rowdy, like, and they're like straight MAGA, like, bro, Trump's the fucking best. Like, we out here.
Yeah, those fools are dickheads. They don't know
No,
what
bro.
the fuck
But
they're
the thing
talking
is,
about
too, with these like circle things, like they pick for the best entertainment. They're not. I feel like they're not
low key.
You know what I mean? Like in Destiny's circle thing, I feel like was the most apparent. Like, all right, bro, this is like entertainment. There was one person that I was like, you sound sick, bro. Like you sound like you're not fucking crazy, and you have a rationale for why you think what you think on the right, which I thought was like cool. And Destiny even picked him out as like the last person to sit down with to have the longest time, because he's like, you seem like you have the most rational sense of everything, and I'd love to just talk to you.
See, my issue, I have a couple issues if they want to continue this, because I do like this space. They need better moderation, right? And we need to, if it's for entertainment purposes, let's make sure that's disclaimed, right? Because the Shapiros, I seen Kirk do one. So those 2 are prominent people when you think of right-wing, right thinkers and guys who are out there talking as mouthpieces. Where on this hand you had Destiny, right, who's also been chosen as this mouthpiece. I think they need.
Wait, was he chosen by Harris's camp though?
No,
Bro,
no. I was saying was a different person that I saw did this circle thing.
No. What I'm because
yes.
Charlie Kirk was picked, like was part of Trump's camp, like
Yes.
to go out and do these speeches and shit like that. So
Now,
I'm asking if Destiny was picked by Harris's camp
I
to
don't
do
think
the
so.
same thing.
Now, I need to verify this. There was a video where he got approached, right? Where they were like, oh, how much did they pay you? How much? He's like, man, I'm out here for free. Woo, woo, woo. Then there was some news reporting where they listed all the different sponsors or endorsers of Kamala and how much they were paid.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the Entertainer one, and that shit was crazy, bro. $20 million Harris Camp spent on all the entertainers. Eminem, Beyonce, fucking
from what I remember reading is that Destiny was on that list. Not that much money. But no one is letting anyone do a podcast like that or a show like that during that time if democracy's on the line, right? And being a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party, like no one's getting that unless they're okay in it.
Low key, do you guys think that Harris Camp accepts Trump's offer to pay off their debt?
I don't know.
Please tell me you guys saw that.
No, they have to. No, they have to. I seen that, and somebody was saying that the debt is so fucking high that if they don't, there will be no Democratic Party. The Democratic Party will dissolve, and it will be the time. Like, if you guys remember, there's been times of our history where we had like 4 parties. We had the Whigs versus the non-Whigs, right? The Federalists, like abolitionists versus the non-abolitionists. Like, we've had all these different political groups, and so if they don't pay the debt, the Democrats will not have the ability.
I don't even know what we're talking about here. What's going on?
Trump tweeted out, I think it was like on Friday or something like that. And he was like that he was willing to pay off the Democrats' debt, that like the campaign debt. They spent so much money.
I have no idea. I have to read up on this. I didn't even.
But you just read the tweet.
All I'm saying is I don't even have Twitter.
Here, I can pull up the tweet.
Listen, YouTube, chill out. It's gonna be okay. We're not saying anything disparaging, right? This is all for entertainment purposes. Don't flag my fucking account. Don't list this as fucking disinformation or misinformation. We're just saying the information as we know it. We're not paying like leave us the fuck alone. It's gonna be all right. No, truly. If they want to do stuff like that, bro, I hope they do it. People need to also.
I can't find his tweet. I have no idea.
People need
to. All these tweets from fucking 2020.
Dude, I need to cut my nails out.
Do I have Twitter?
What the fuck? Well, anyways, he tweeted out saying that he would pay for their debt.
Yeah, I see.
Say it on Truth Social.
I own stock, baby.
I don't know. I haven't been on Twitter in a long time. I was gonna say years, but it's just been a long time, bro. This place, Twitter's honestly nothing but bots, bro.
It's wild on there, bro. I stay off of there. I'm on Threads now.
Dude, me too. Yeah, I seen you on Threads.
I be talking.
Here it is, right here. Where'd it go? In the name of unity, or more likely an epic troll, Trump says people should chip in and bail out the vice president. Where did it go?
Did he take it down? Dude, that's some fucking deep state shit, though.
I swear to God, I saw a tweet come out from him saying that he would pay for it out of the sanction of unity.
Bro, like
I thought it's a troll, but at the same time, I'm like, does she take it though? Like,
no, they're the DNC's in shambles right now, bro. And what's wild, dog, is like I never thought that there would be a day, bro, where like it's like who's left to lead them? Gavin Newsom?
I hope not, man.
Who's left? Like, who's really left? Pete Buttigieg, dog? No shit.
You know what I would like to see though? Vivek and Gavin debate if they were both presidential candidates.
Dog, that's like
that would be a fun fucking debate to watch.
That's like Ra's al Ghul versus the mayor of Gotham City, bro.
I'm just saying, like, it would be so much fun to watch.
That'd be good.
Personally, I think Vivek would rip him apart, but I like the way Gavin Newsom talks.
He's a good speaker,
He's a good looking guy.
and he's a good dude. He's a hunk.
He's a silver fox, daddy-o.
Yo.
I'd give that man the work. Okay, I haven't been on like a pretzel.
Speaking
Gavin
of
New-
bent over
are we
like a
talking
pretzel,
about Gavin Newsom? Is that what we're talking about?
yeah. Speaking of getting bent over like a pretzel, let's get away from the political talk real quick. Let me ask you guys a question.
Really quick, just to make it absolutely clear. Go Harris, okay?
This is the same guy that was rooting for the Dodgers when they made it to the World Series.
Yeah, and they fucking won. I choose winners, baby.
No, you.
Well,
Obviously
I'm
not.
one out of two. I'm 1 out of 2.
I choose winners. I'm 2 out of 2, baby.
Listen,
telling
it
you,
would have been 2 out of 2 if Elon would have stayed his ass at home and chilled out on all of the.
Do you want to know what's crazy?
Crazy.
It was the JRE episode, bro.
Bro, listen.
Unironically,
I knew it was over hours before it happened because Bitcoin spiked. It started spiking, bro, and I looked at Sid. I was like, Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump just won the presidency. She's like, no, there's still a lot of time. I was like, no, dude. I opened up my stocks. I was like, no. I was like, look. I was like, money's coming back into the market. I was like, Donald Trump just won.
Everything fucking spiked, bro.
Like
that shit was crazy.
I was like, oh yeah.
Hey, you know what? Now that Kamala's not in the race, maybe her and I can have a fucking beer together, bro, because she's an alcoholic for sure.
Dude, she parties, bro. Have you seen her back pictures? Have you seen her pictures from back in the day? She was a fucking babe, bro.
Was she?
Dude, she was.
But that's an ongoing joke. She's not an alcoholic. It's an ongoing joke that I have in my fantasy football group that she's an
'cause I'm
alcoholic
like,
and she
what
gets
is
drunk every time she goes and speaks.
She
Like
parties, bro.
it's just an ongoing joke that we have that she's an alcoholic. She's not really an alcoholic. I don't want to put that out there. I mean, she might be, but
out of 4 politicians,
it's an inside joke between me and my fantasy football.
out of 4 politicians, who are y'all partying with? Right? Biden, Hunter Biden, Trump Jr.,
You can't say Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden.
Oh, you're talking about their kids?
No, yeah, the kids. Which one are you partying with? Hunter Biden, Trump Jr., Kamala Harris, or Gavin Newsom?
I'm gonna have to go Trump Jr.
Probably Kamala.
I think I might
You
go
can
with Hunter
sit there-
Biden, bro.
You can no Hunter Biden would get me in jail, bro. At least Trump Jr. knows how to have a good time and he has money, and it would be a fun party.
Listen,
Kamala, I wouldn't be able to sit through her fucking laugh, bro. That her laugh is annoying to me.
but you know she goes for the good. Bro, did you remember seeing her walking around with Montel Williams? She went to the good parties, bro. She knew how to listen. Hunter
Do you
Biden,
think she ever went to a Diddy party?
for sure, 100%, 100%.
I know Trump went to a Diddy party. Trump probably went to a Diddy party.
100%.
I feel like photos of both these people would have already came out, or at least
No.
like mention of them,
No,
or at least like
yeah.
mention.
The media can't let that. They won't let that out. The FBI won't let that out
What do you mean?
because, bro,
It's like Ellen DeGeneres.
The
Diddy
list
said
came
on
out.
her
the,
show.
the Epstein list came out. What do you mean? Of course it would. come out.
No, what Epstein? list?
Absolutely. What do you
What
mean?
list?
Isn't there like
What
a whole
list?
ass list that
There's a list.
those are flight logs?
Oh, there's flight logs,
Yes.
but
and
there's no. But there's a little
your,
black.
Your
book
buddy old pal winner up there is in this flight logs.
that. Oh yeah.
Yep, and he's also a bigot and a narcissist and a racist.
Whoa!
and
I didn't say all that.
fucking
I just said he was on the logs.
SA
That's
and
all I'm saying.
no, I'm just saying. Add that to the list of other things that people want to call him.
I need to see.
Felon.
I need to see the bill of sales.
I mean,
right?
he's technically a felon. Not
Is that-
convicted.
No. There, you can't be convicted of a civil case, my friend. I'm just saying.
That's because they hadn't gone to the criminal ones yet. They're not gonna have the chance. He's gonna pardon himself.
Listen,
Hey,
so
we've
unfortunate.
seen a black president. Now we're gonna see a president behind bars.
Well,
It's gonna be crazy.
Hopefully, we don't see those states drop him, and then he can, after these 4 years, he'll serve his time. Maybe we'll see. Maybe he doesn't.
you don't.
I hope he
you-
does.
You truly
I hope
don't.
he does. You know what? As an American, if he gets convicted and there's charges brought to him criminally, I hope he does go to jail.
Me too.
But you
As an American.
truly don't see. You truly don't see it as they have weaponized the Justice Department. You don't see it. As
no,
that.
he like basically incited an insurrection.
No,
Oh my god,
that
bro.
doesn't fly in court.
He did. Yes, even your boy Ben Shapiro, when it happened, was like he literally incited an insurrection. And now you got people like
What is an
Ben Shapiro.
insurrection? I'm gonna have this conversation with you. We're going on an hour of this, and it's a lot longer than I wanted to go. But what's an insurrection? Tell me what an insurrection is.
We could
tell me what an insurrection. Tell me what an insurrection.
Let me look it up.
Well, you said it. You don't know the definition of it. You're the one who just said it.
Why can't the FBI say that if there was agents there or not?
Hold on, I want to know what an insurrection is from Damien's mouth.
From my mouth.
Yep. What is an insurrection? You know I like your mouth.
I understand. Well, relax. From what I understand, it's the interference of a peaceful transfer of power.
Okay. And the insurrection started. Let me ask you this: is it illegal?
I think so.
Pretty sure that we as an American people have the right to try and overturn our government, correct? I'm pretty sure that it says that in the Constitution.
No, I don't think so.
It doesn't?
So I have the right to bear arms.
I don't think you have the... No, that's not the same thing, though.
And the right to form a militia.
But you don't have... Is that the same thing? Over... Why didn't Kanye win? I don't know, buddy. Is that the same thing as inciting an insurrection? You don't have the right to incite an insurrection. That's why you have the right to overtry. You have the right to try and you have the right to overturn your government. Is that in the Constitution?
Look it up. Look it up, D. Look up. Do we have the right to overturn our government?
What about him telling them to go home? Did we forget that there was a whole video posted?
Didn't he do that like after all of the shit had gone down anyway? People have died already by the time he did that.
I think one person died.
One person's too
My
many.
question is why can't the FBI say if there was agents there or not in the crowd?
I just want to know if we have the right to overturn our government, D.
You do have the right to overturn your government.
I want to hear from D. It is definitely your constitutional right to overturn the government. Hence why, like Korpsx just said, we have the right to bear arms.
Yeah. That's why they're written that way. You have the right to bear arms. Therefore, you have the right to bear arms. You have the right to form a militia.
I guess
no way it's taking you this long.
You have the right to like abolish it and institute a new government.
Yep.
Sure. I don't think
so.
I still don't think that's...
Tell me again, what's illegal?
I don't think an insurrection.
Tell me again how it's illegal.
And well, it's violence. That's illegal. How they did it is illegal. The fact that they were basically breaching government grounds was illegal. The fact that they had to break in was illegal. The fact that they killed
were doing everything
illegal.
No. They didn't kill somebody. Somebody killed one of them.
I don't think there wasn't a cop who died.
No, one of the cops killed somebody. I'm almost positive.
Who died on Jan 6th? I'm pretty sure it was. I thought it was like a lady who died.
There's just a lot. There's a lot of jargon in all that. There's a lot. I mean, the Native Americans used to fucking burn the bitch down frequently. So who cares? Second off,
I mean, I do kind of care about it. I'm just saying, like,
I don't
think about it. It was legal.
How can you say Mans is inciting an insurrection when he ain't even there? He's not even present.
Well, I mean, look at Charles Manson. He went to jail for all those murders, and he never killed anybody.
That's different. He was feeding people LSD. What is Trump doing? He posted a fucking tweet. And you're saying he's what? What, you guys are saying Twitter's that fucking powerful? That's fucking nuts, bro.
Hey, it made people vote for Trump.
That's nuts. Allegedly. My common fucking sense told me to fucking vote for him, but that's a different discussion.
What'd you find, D?
Ashley Babbitt? She died by a fatally gunshot wound.
From who?
From a police officer.
Oh, look at that.
She was trying to climb through.
Wow. Look at that.
Wait. She was trying to...
That was the most...
From a police officer.
Hold on, brother.
I'm just saying.
Wait. I'm not done reading. Was fatally shot while attempting to climb through the broken window of a barricaded door leading into the speaker's lobby inside the Capitol. That sounds kind of like breaking and entering. Seems like in
that's a reason for death. That's the reason for death.
Would you shoot somebody trying to get into your house?
It's not
To my house. That's different. That's not a
fact,
This
house.
is
Matter of fact,
this
hold
is
on.
the
hold on, hold
door
on.
is
Her
barricaded. What are
taxpayer-
we talking about?
Her tax-paying money pays to keep those doors open. That's her house.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No,
That's how police
absolutely
office. That's how police departments work. That's how mail offices work.
Just because your taxpayers' dollars is paying for.
I'm being facetious. Obviously, they shouldn't have been breaking into this shit. I'm being facetious.
No, because now that
That's not a reason to kill somebody. That's not a reason to kill somebody. A cop can only kill somebody if their life is threatened.
What you think it was just her trying to break in? It was just one person.
Well, she's definitely
Non-lethal. Have you heard of non-lethal? This is the same reason that people are getting mad that black people are dying on the street. So those people are okay.
That's a whole different.
It's under the same narrative.
What?
Non-lethal, my friend.
No, absolutely not. These are completely different. These are completely different situations.
So a non-lethal weapon should have not been used in that situation?
Do you want him to go over, run over, and bash him in the head? What do you want them to do?
What do you mean? There's tasers, there's beanbag, there's pellet guns, there's tear gas, there's all types of non-lethals. That's why they have so many of them. So they don't kill They don't kill people.
But they're already breaching in.
I don't understand your point. Because they're breaching, that gives them the right to kill somebody?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know
No.
that. I don't know within the
All right, let's go
context
to the next
of
fucking subject. There's no fucking way.
of breaking into a political space, or not a political space.
I'm almost positive that they found no guns on anybody that broke in, by the way.
You know what?
I'm almost
You know what?
positive.
Hold on. This is my biggest thing with the whole whenever I've gotten asked by the insurrection thing, right? Like, how do you feel about him doing an insurrection? And first off, is how does one? My question is besides the federal agents thing being on premise, all that shit, whatever. My thought process. Since I was 18, right, and I really started looking at the government and how things worked, I have begged for the people to overthrow the government. Why don't we get together? There's more of us than there is of them, right? If we don't like how something's going and if we don't like the decisions being made, why don't we do something? Occupy Wall Street, right? There was the whole Occupy movement. There was the fucking whole anonymous movement, right? And these guys were flooding the streets, right? Occupy DC. Here comes this dude and he's kind of wild. I don't really like him, but the people fuck with him. Like, and they actually fuck with him so much that they ran up on the building, like the building they ran up. And these were the things I've been hoping people would do. Now, I don't maybe necessarily agree with this whole message, right? And I might not agree with everything that he's doing, but I could tell you what's happening I don't fuck with. So, yeah, you guys burn it the fuck down, my guy. Knock yourselves out, bro. The pawns always move first in chess, bro. I'm good. Y'all knock yourselves out. I'll be here to fucking pick it up when martial law happens and all you fools are fucking gone. I will rise like a phoenix. Like, didn't hurt. Fuck them.
Hey, the revolution will be televised, bro. That's what they always
It will
say.
be televised. And I'm just saying, for years I begged for it, and it's happened. It's happening. And
I'm trying to make it happen.
I'm gonna say no, it's happening. It's happening slowly.
I don't know if we want it to happen the way it's gonna happen right now.
I would go to say, right, like let's say like, and this because this kind of removes all the bias. Let's say there was to be a person who came and truly censored us, right? And even though our politicians like to talk about censorship and all this shit, like there's censorship, like in some of the countries where there is only one news station, and guys do not have the internet. You do, like, we don't have the internet. We don't do podcasts. There's no bros. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you think if that happened here in America, would you try to still find a way to like do shit like this with people? Like, you know what I mean? And like,
Oh, absolutely.
It would just be
Nope.
behind closed doors, no?
no
You wouldn't-
compliance.
Yeah, you just wouldn't.
No, famo, no. In some countries, this is what Americans don't realize. In some countries, you do not have access to the internet. there's no calling frontier. There's no calling spectrum.
Oh, I know.
You know. So how do you
understand.
even get the fucking access to it? Like that's the thing. So like
You figure it out.
you figure it the fuck out, right? Like there's got to be there's always going to be resistance to the status quo.
Wait, okay, so wait, I have a question, D. Since we're talking about the insurrection,
Yes.
alleged insurrection.
Yes.
Let's say it was the opposite side that did it, right? Let's say it was a bunch of trans people, and gay people.
Okay.
What? Why are you laughing for?
I just don't know why they got to be gay and trans. Can they be leftists? Like people
that's-
in...
No. Let's say it's a bunch of gay and trans people
Okay.
who are on the left. Gay and trans people who are on the left.
Sure.
And queers and lesbians, and I don't want to leave anybody
David
out.
Say the same thing 3 times. Keep going.
David Batista.
Why do we have different letters in? Just saying. Yeah, I agree. All the letters mean the same thing. I agree.
Keep going.
Okay. And the same thing happened. They rushed the Capitol.
Yes.
Same thing happened. One of them died
Yeah.
right, from police gunshot,
Stupid.
unfortunately.
Yep.
Who's stupid? The police or the person that
The
got shot?
person who's trying to fucking get into the Capitol, breaking into a... Yes. Even if they're
Do
left.
you think that it would have been flipped and it still would have been called an insurrection?
Yes, I think
Or
it
do
would
you-
have still been called an insurrection.
Or do you think that it would have been people that are fighting for their rights? How would it have been? How would it have been advertised on the news?
I think it would have been the exact same thing, just flipped. People on the right saying this is an insurrection, you should be fucking ashamed, this, that, whatever.
No.
Just like the left is doing. And the left could have been like, you know what, fighting for how did he even incite this insurrection? It was just tweets. He just wanted XYZ to do, ABC. I think it played out.
I disagree with you, brother.
I
It would have been advertised as these strong, courageous people of this community.
I would read into these. What are instances where you think that the same thing has happened where they're treated differently?
Because you can't prove a negative, right? He's already.
What are instances, or why do I think that?
No, what are instances? Like, what are instances where somebody did X, Y, Z, and then the opposite side did it, and it's like, oh, these are not treated the same way.
White cops killing black people.
Obama,
No, I'm talking about like more
Obama
like
with immigration.
politics within.
Obama with immigration is a perfect one.
Okay. Like what? Like what?
My
what does that
dad
mean?
even my dad and I were chatting yesterday, right? And we were talking about, because my dad and I were talking about me getting my Mexican citizenship, because they changed the law to where if you have a father or mother who comes from Mexico, then their children can have dual citizenship. They just have to go to the consulate, right? So we were talking about me going to the consulate and getting my dual citizenship so that way I can buy land in Mexico. And I was curious if I become a Mexican citizen, can I then get Peanut his dual citizenship? And as we were talking about that, my stepmom had said something along, like, laughed about, because Donald Trump is going to get rid of all the immigrants, right? Like, oh, and my dad was laughing and he said, I don't understand why people are worried about Trump when Obama was even worse and he was the one who really started it.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
He deported
like
more people than Trump did.
People did not know that Obama had a bunch of Mexican immigrants here at our border and the Texas border in cages, bro.
Yeah.
Like in literal cages at the border.
Yeah.
I have heard of this.
Children and women and all types of shit. People did not know that until after he was president.
There were FEMA camps. They were changing all kinds of shit up to fucking. Yes, dude. You could drive and see them. The shit was insane.
So there's an example for you right there.
But so okay, I mean I'll look into it. Yeah, for sure.
It's
But because Trump is a little more vocal about it. But that's the thing is, like,
I think it's just and Cisco.
but
you know
immigrants
this, I think
don't have
it's just-
anything to worry
It's
about.
just it's not sales. It's the way that you package things. Like I could tell you about these fees and everything that you have to pay, or I could tell you all the great benefits you're going to get and the costs that come with it. Like it just depends on how you package it. Like 'cause-
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, like,
and that's the thing that's why people don't like Trump, because he doesn't try and package anything. He just says shit how it is.
the worst ways.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Like he does. Like that's why when I was in the car business, I always said Obama is the best salesperson this world has ever seen.
Phenomenal, fucking best speaker ever, bro. Hands down.
He was really smooth with it.
He was the smoothest. But can we talk about how he was a drug addict? We don't want to talk about that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about him being a drug. I honestly haven't looked into Obama at all because I'm trying to.
We're way past that, anyways. So it doesn't.
But also, like I'm trying to figure out how all these things connect, and I appreciate you bringing out the insurrection and questioning me on it because it is a blind spot that I have that I'm speaking too confidently on. I shouldn't be speaking on shit like that if I haven't done my research on it. If I don't know enough about it. So it's my bad to bring it up, but
no, don't apologize. I'm just saying, like, it's funny to me when people say like he incited it. Like he didn't say like go fucking tear down this building. He just said march for what you think is right in not so many words. He didn't say like break down and maul people and do all this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like people say that he was up there talking like a dictator and saying do this and it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? And even like Korb said, he even said like, you guys be safe. Don't do stupid shit.
But yeah. I mean, I need to know the timeline and things a little bit better. It's not that like I'm not saying sorry or like, you know, whatever it may be. I'm just saying I was speaking too confidently on a subject I don't know enough about.
There was a lot of squirrely shit with that, right? And of all things, this is going to sound a little fucking crazy.
You always sound a little fucking crazy.
That insurrection, right? That mob running in. Honey, that is the risk you fucking taking public office. If your constituents feel that you are doing them wrong, that you're not that you're playing some fucking game, they will remind you who you represent. That is the game. 100 years ago, they would have showed up with pitchforks, right? On their fucking cows. They would have showed up and you know, these people live in these places. They would show up to their homes, bro. It's not just because we're more civilized now. Let's not forget what this is really about and what people are really about. If someone feels like they're getting fucked enough, they will push back, bro. And all they need is somebody to say, okay. Right, like, and
look at the BLM riots. It's a perfect example. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Like everyone was already pissed the fuck off. Like, you know what I mean? We're broke. We're out of jobs. People are dying, and then we're let free for fucking 2 weeks. And this is what we see. This is the first thing that happens. Burn the son of a bitch down. Like, you know, I don't agree with it, but I get it.
My thing is my other thing is that I was taking a look at today when it came down to the. When it came down to that $20 million I told you was spent on by Harris's campaign for all those artists that like performed for her, like this is gonna sound very bad.
Yes,
but why? Like, why do you think majority of them were from like black background or black culture? Like it is a known thing, bro. It is a known thing in society that the Democratic Party targets
blacks,
like the urban and colored people, and definitely tries to like scare them from the white man for votes.
I'll say,
why would Joe Biden? And this is recorded. Say, if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
That was crazy.
I heard of that. I don't know that.
To a black person. He said it to Charlemagne the God.
Dude, that was nuts.
I don't.
Like,
I've heard
why?
I've heard of this quote. I don't know why he would say that. That sounds insane.
Because, bro, they target. Here's the thing too. They target the minority. It's insane.
But here's the thing, and this is what I'm increasingly finding out, is that it is easy to say all this, and it's easy to take it all in, and when the dots seem like they're connecting, because, and I'm not saying you, I'm not saying Corpse, I'm just saying for the vast majority, when these speakers or the Ben Shapiro's or whatever, even if they're not necessarily always saying lies, right, to further either their career or just political agenda, whatever it may be, it's hard because they're saying, and I noticed this in the JD Vance podcast, is that so many things within that podcast requires me to do one statement would cause me to do like an hour of research, one statement. And I did that, and you guys saw the amount of pages I have that I have to read through to just comb over the things that he has said for me to even start to either agree or disagree with whatever facts he was saying. Even within the podcast, it was so crazy to me that towards the end, Joe Rogan had not even cited, he had just recalled a study supposedly that SSRIs were tightly either correlated or they had a lot to do with school shooters, and like he was like almost all of them were on SSRIs. And then he's like, Jamie, go ahead and look that up. They kept talking for a little bit, and then he goes back to Jamie and said, have you found that study yet? And Jamie goes, I'm trying, but there's everything I'm finding says that they have no strong correlation. There's no proof that shows that there's any strong correlation. And Joe like is like, yeah, of course there isn't, or whatever. Kind of just dismissing it. I'm like, bro, you got your guy just disagreeing with you, and he has the computer. As
No,
a
because
laptop.
some things are not statistical though. Some things just you have to look at it, bro.
No,
like I just said.
No, but
why?
He literally said that there was a study done. He asked Jamie to look for the study, and then when he couldn't find it, he said, "Yeah, of course not. Of course you couldn't find it." It's like, all right, bro. Like if you're not gonna accept the fact that maybe you were wrong, maybe you misremembered it. I'm not even trying to put blame on like you're a malicious person. Just like, bro, take the L. Sorry, you were wrong. Like. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's fine. I didn't know about something you asked, and you didn't recall it perfectly. We're all human. It's fine. It's cool. But when people are like, oh, yeah, of course, it must be X, Y, Z. Like, when you're trying to connect the dots so hard, even when you're wrong, it's like, come on, bro. We could just...
No, but what I'm telling you is fact. Like, what I'm telling you is actual fact. Let me ask you a question. What party pushed BLM?
In what? Like obviously probably the left.
And what happened with BLM?
They turned into like super riots, no?
No. With the actual organization.
The person who founded it, I thought like smuggled or like misused funds and like did like $3 million in fraud. Yeah.
$3 million, dog, went to these two people's pockets, and they bought a big ass mansion in LA off of people that really believe that they were trying to be in a movement, and literally were like, there was mad peaceful protests, there was riots, there was all types of shit that these people were pushing. Let me ask you a question. Okay, and I did this, and I was like, I researched this a lot when this was like probably 2018, 2019. I think it was like around when George Floyd died, which is sad. It's a very sad thing.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, anytime anybody dies, it's a sad thing, right? But this is something that I've always done. Anytime there's like a police shooting, I never say anything about it until video footage is put out, until it's a full context so I can see what happened. Because if it's like somebody out and then they like reach for something real fast or something and they get shot, bro, like, come on now. You know that you're not supposed to do that. Like, let's be real. But if it was like somebody truly innocent that fucking, like the one that got incited here in La Mesa because that fucking cop was being a dickhead to the dude at the trolley station and was like roughing him up a little bit, like, yeah, that's absolute bullshit. But what I'm saying is, how come any time that we see anything about police shooting, whether it be on the news, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be in the newspaper, whether it be on BBC, whether it be on Apple News, doesn't matter where it's at. How come we only see shootings for white cops killing black people? We never see Mexicans killing whites. We never see black cops killing white kids. We never see, like, that happens. But why is it not put out on the news?
Well, for the news in particular, I mean, A lot of times they're incentivized to do what will get clicks. That's what their job is.
Click.
And why is that what's incentivized?
Because that's how they
Why
make
is white cops that kill black people incentivized?
I think overall it's just like I have to do
Don't say you have to do research. I'm asking you what you think why that's what the case is. Because you know that what I'm saying is true. Have you ever heard of a Mexican cop killing another Mexican person on the news? Breaking news tonight. Mexican cop kills a Mexican kid. No. It's always some white cop killing a black person. Always. And then we think that it happens in tremendous numbers because that's all that we see advertised on the.
Also, could it just be the fact that yes, those news articles and those cases do get publicized more, but I think it's probably just like a feedback loop in terms of like A, that's probably what gets the most attention. B, you probably notice it more because it gets more attention, and then C, not. And I mean, I wouldn't even put it past the fact that it's probably not broadcast as much in terms of like just cop on regular civilian violence.
But when it is on regular cop on regular civilian violence, there's never race included in that.
I mean,
tonight we're going to talk about a police officer in Ohio that killed an innocent man. But if it was race involved, tonight we're going to talk about how a white cop in Los Angeles killed a black teenager. There's a difference. I mean, so my question to you is why do you now without doing any research? My question to you is why do you think that is? Why do you think that that's a very common thing?
Because it's what drives more attention.
But why do they want to drive that attention? Is what I'm asking you.
What's the most divisive? It's the most.
What's the benefit? So what's the benefit?
Money. That's all the benefit. That's what the benefit is. I don't even necessarily disagree that or maybe you're not even making this point. I would say that I would agree that news outlets and like just the way the framing of that is definitely a feedback loop in which they need to like probably chill out because it also forms the opinions of others of how they perceive white cops, how they perceive black people and stuff like that. I think that's harmful rhetoric to do. More than likely. But I don't
kind of like critical race theory, huh?
I don't know enough about that.
Maybe you should look in. I honestly, if there's anything that you should look into as far as like what I feel Democrats are pushing the most, it would be the racial thing and critical race theory. Because if you look on the right side, everybody on the right wants to get rid of critical race theory, and I think that's very beneficial.
What is critical race theory then?
Critical race theory is the gist of it. I'll give you the gist of it because I can't break it down fully. But basically, the gist of it is basically telling people of color why white people have a head start. Why?
Go ahead.
That's basically why white people have a head start in life, and why because you're a person of color, you got to do things twice as hard or 3 times as hard. You got to work harder and all this type of shit. It's a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. And the reason I think that it's a bunch of bullshit is because you create division in that. You make people
an academic and legal framework that examines how racism is embedded in American society and institutions. CRT originated in law schools in the 1970s and has since become a part of the national debate on race relations and how they teach about history in schools.
And I feel like it creates division. And the only reason I say that is because I have a child now, and I can see that with children there is no division. There's no such thing as division. So
I mean, yeah, but
if my kid in the 9th grade, 10th grade is starting to learn about critical race theory and then looks at his buddy Charlie, who's a white kid with blue eyes, and says, well, fuck you, bro. Like, your family has had it way better off than my family has. Now you create division.
Okay. I think like bullshit. I said, I don't know enough about it, so I'll have to look.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit.
But see, that's what I'm saying too. Is that like everything that anybody talks about, I have to do research into it. I have to.
No, yeah, but I'm telling you, like, these are big talking. To me, these are big talking points personally, because this is why I put like straight away from the left for these reasons. Because people tell me because I'm dark, because I'm Latino, I have to view things this certain way, and I'm crazy for not viewing them that way. And then when I open my eyes and think to myself, well, they're kind of making me view this way, and they're kind of pushing these things towards me for me to view this way. So I'm not looking that way. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I bleed the same blood as you do. I bleed the same blood as Putch does. I bleed the same blood as fucking any white guy that I fucking meet on the street. Why create division when we're supposed to be in a country full of unity? It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like there's a lot more unity on the right than there is on the left, in my opinion.
And I remember a time, right? Like, I remember a time where these type of things like were so like obscure to me, right? And though in the 1970s, right, things like these type of conversations of how racism has been and was embedded into the frameworks of the American society, right? And the thing is like, I like to look at that word racism and really look at what they're saying, right? Is like, yeah, white men did have the upper hand here. They conquered this land, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, bro, sorry about it. Like, my people got wiped out, bro. But to the fucking victors go the spoils. You feel me? And so, yeah, sure, they had slaves, bro. Like, and there was all kinds of slaves. You guys got your freedom, cool, right? And you decided to stay here, great. How are you ever going to think that the people who are ahead of you by generations, my guy, of freedom, that you're just going to be automatically like caught up to them, or that the systems that they have in place don't benefit them and doesn't quite include you? It's like, bro, up until 10 days ago, y'all weren't even considered. So we got to, work some stuff out. And then you spend 50, 60 years working it out. And the next thing, it's like, okay, well, what's the next thing? And then, you spend another 50, 60 years. But I know for a fucking fact, America is more different now from 1970, right, to now than 1970 to 1910. Like, America is light years different than those times, bro. So for them to continue to peddle anybody on any level, I don't even want to say they, like anybody on any level, like that, because I'm Native American or this and that, or because this person's Mexican, or just because they're black or because they're white, that they have any kind of advantage over me. Like, it's like, nah, dog, y'all's cool, y'all's tripping. You sound cocky is what it is, but nah, it's I'm all good. I'm good off that. I don't need that. I don't need anybody to tell me that I'm like, oh, what is it? A victim, or I'm oppressed. I'm good.
Could I read a chat?
Yeah.
Listen, chat.
I'm not fighting on this point because I need to look into it.
You're not. What? Say that again. I didn't hear what you said.
I said I'm not fighting on this point because I need to look into it. Miss Crystal Waters has more experience with it than I. She says CRT doesn't create division. I think the point of CRT is to look at the division that already exists. That's so far all that she has typed.
And that's why I think it's bullshit. Let me ask you a question.
Actually, is there a way to acknowledge the, I won't say division, but differences without necessarily implying like a better than?
I don't think there is. But but what is it? Well, let me respond to what Crystal Waters said real quick. The more we talk about division, the more divided we will continue to be. If you continue, like, let me put it to you like this: if you put 50 people on an island, right? No matter what, we're always going to be divided by any means possible. We're human beings. We're going to find some way to create division, whether it be color, whether it be eye color, whether it be race, whether it be height, whether it be how fat you are. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be some type of division, right? But if you put 50 people on an island, they will figure out a way to divide themselves, right? After 3 months, you take those 50 people off the island, you put 50 new people on the island. Then those people will create division within themselves. And I guarantee you it will probably be different than the division that the previous 50 people put on, right? And you take after 3 months, you take those 50 people off. Now you have 100 people, and those two groups of 50 have divided themselves up however they deemed fit. Now you put 50 new people on an island, and you put on there how the first 50 people divided themselves. Those people are more likely to divide themselves the same way that the original 50 people divided themselves. Now you take those 50 people off, you put the same thing with the second 50, right? Now you have 200 people. If you put all 200 of those people together, do you think it mattered how the first group and the third group divided themselves and the second and the fourth group divided themselves? Or do you think that they're going to find division all within itself?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Wait, I'm confused. What do you mean, does it matter?
Because the first and the third group divided themselves up. The first group divided themselves up how they deemed fit. The third group divided themselves based off of how the first group deemed fit.
They're just going to.
They had a reference point. I mean, I guess in this
there was a reference. There was a reference. Oh, if these people did it and survived for 3 months, then this is probably how we should do it. And same thing for the second and fourth. But then you bring all 200 people together. Now they have two separate ways of dividing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're going to choose one of those two ways, or do you think they're going to choose a different way?
This example, though, I don't think fits what I don't think it does what we're trying to do. Because the example, if you're putting people on an island, unless this island is like stock full of food, the reason you would divide is to have maximum survival.
Okay, let's not say an island. Let's just say a city. Let's just say the point is these 50 people are going to figure out how to divide themselves.
Listen, this is my problem.
Yeah, but this has to. Sorry,
CRT isn't a uniquely American thing, because if you go to Spain, they don't teach critical race theory about how the Moors conquered Spain and enslaved the Spaniards. They don't talk about that. A West African nation, they don't talk about that. It's just history. And though CRT and all these other things that are propped up, right, as these philosophical debates of ruminating over the past, I get by addressing the past and bringing light to it and this and that, right? Like we're teaching history and all these things. I get it. But that is not what's happening in the classroom. The practice versus the philosophy or the mental of it is what's happening is you're putting a black and a white kid in a classroom, and you're looking at him and saying, 80 years ago these laws were in place, and that's why he has a preference over you in this classroom, even though we don't see that to be true. You're special, boom boom boom. Those two classmates are now pitted against each other subconsciously, because that person is going to think about their uncle, their auntie, or themselves and think like, damn, all the struggles I went through, motherfuckers, because of you and your dad and your uncles and your grandpa and your great grandpa. Like, motherfucker, you were born racist, huh? That's how you get into these conversations of it just must be in your DNA, this racism. It's just, you're just born this way, bro. That's what's happening. That's the problem with critical race theory. That's the problem with having these fucking circles.
Yeah, you're basically telling colored kids that, hey, no matter what, the system is against you. So figure it out.
We know that. The thing is it's no longer race specific. It's class specific. If you're poor, you're fucked. If you're middle class, you're kind of fucked. And if you're rich, you're well off. But the media wants to spin it like it's this race thing while they're getting the money, while they collect the fucking dough. It's a class war. It's no longer a race war. It used to be. 100%, I acknowledge that. 100%. But people aren't going to sit here and tell me that America's more racist today than when they literally had colored motherfucking water fountains. When they had colored schools, colored only, white only schools. No fucking way. No fucking way are you going to tell me, anybody going to tell me that, bro? No way, no shot. No fucking shot, bro. There's no shot.
Crystal Waters just say it's history under a microscope.
Indeed. And I trust me.
I would say so. I would say that's a good way of putting it.
I knew the truth about Thanksgiving, bro, but I didn't learn that in school. I learned that at my house, and there's plenty of books, right? Like, but I think having a circle
But
jerk,
Thanksgiving wasn't like a bad thing. Thanksgiving was Abraham Lincoln created Thanksgiving.
yeah, but they wrapped it up under this idea of the Pilgrims and the Native
Yeah.
Americans, and they got together and had this big dinner, and that's not
Yeah, no, that's not what it was.
not how that
That's not what it
happened.
was.
That's not how that happened. Rewind,
Yeah, that's not what it was at all. Like, not even remotely close to what Thanksgiving is.
not even remotely. Yeah, like there's that's a whole different topic. Yeah, that's why I don't even like I do like your fucking example, Save, where it's like we find enough division just being around each other, right? And I just don't see the point. Teach history just as it's history, right? But we don't need to sit here and add in.
You can't say that. You can't say that though. You can't say teach history just as it's history, because if we agree that CRT is history under a microscope, then you are teaching history as it's history. But I think that it's very divisive in the sense of you're creating division. You're literally teaching colored people why they're behind. Like what? Like I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
I have the same opportunity as any fucking white person in this fucking world. I have the same exact opportunity.
Yeah, cut
Doesn't
that
matter.
part out. Cut that part out. Cut that part out. Because yes, there was Jim Crow laws. Yes, but I also remember where the
There was redlining. There was all types of shit, bro.
But I remember where I was standing the day Barack Obama was elected president. So no one is going to fucking tell me different. No one. It's just mind fucking boggling that anybody would say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I see how you get there. Like, I really do, bro. Like, I really, really fucking do. But like, come on, fam. Like, if a black man can hold the highest office, we just almost had a black woman in the highest office of the United States of America. Anything is fucking possible for anybody. There is no leg up, especially in today's age where we have social media, AI, we have all the fucking.
But you can't say that because a white man won, so there's white privilege.
Bro, no.
I'm just saying, like, do you see how bullshit that sounds? Do you see how bullshit that sounds, bro? Like, how can you say that white privilege exists in this country when exactly what Korpsx just said, a fucking black man was president? Like, you're gonna tell me that Kamala Harris lost because of white privilege? That's so bullshit.
One of her highest, and it was.
She ran a great campaign.
It was.
She ran a great campaign.
But one of her highest turnouts were actually white men. That was one of the statistics that was going around. Young, I think they were saying under the age of like 30. So like really, really young white men.
Almost every single white person that I know voted for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, bro.
Almost every single white person that I know. Almost every single person of color I know voted for Donald Trump.
Oh my God. Listen, and I don't like, and this is like not even on no politics shit. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't like because allegedly we're oppressed people, right? Natives, and we are in so many extents. But then there's also these arguments where people are like, oh well, you get casinos. It's like, well, whoa, dog, that's a different topic. Like, yeah, we got casinos, but we built those things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we survived and we built those things, like, so you start moving around this goalpost of what's oppression and what's this and what's that and who's had it bad and blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, dog, like, let's all just take a second and remember, bro, that we had a long lineage of family. We're here, right? Because our ancestors survived. We're here now, right?
And another way that I look at it, bro, is because I have a black son. And no offense to Korpsx at all, because he has a colored son too, but my son looks black. Like, my son is black. And his grandfather runs a multi-million-dollar company. My son was 2 years old riding around in a Rolls-Royce car seat that cost $2,500 in the back of a Rolls-Royce. And you expect me to tell this kid that he's behind? No, it doesn't work like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I watched his grandfather at the age of 40, bro. At 40 years old, I watched his grandfather go from being in debt to making multiple millions of dollars a year. I've literally driven Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royces, Land Rovers, Range Rovers, any Maseratis, Mercedes, any type of fucking car that you wish that you could drive. I've driven them because a black man made that happen. So critical race theory to me is absolute bullshit.
Oh,
There's no reason that I want my son to ever think that he's behind. Ever.
But let's be fair. Let's be fair. Now, I don't know these classes. I haven't been in one. I've only known what I've read about it in the videos I've seen. Let's be fair, because especially, we've been around the block and we were out in the streets at one point, we know some young black men who are getting it out the fucking mud, right? Getting it out the gutter.
Yeah, of course.
We know, right? And has there been some things laws that may have been passed or certain actions that may have been taken that didn't say black men, but we know was targeting the black communities? I think we can agree to that, right? I think because of Obama, because he did good. Sorry guys, you guys had a winner. I'm sorry. Now you have a framework. You don't have to be LeBron James. You don't have to be Deion Sanders. You don't have to be the next, Hooper. You don't have to be the next rapper in your family, bro. You don't have to be the next hooper in your family. You know the streets, you know your community. Go be a politician, bro. Go put on the business suit. You know what I'm saying? Like, go. I'll vote for you, bro. Like, gangsters turned fucking politician. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think we should spend more time doing that. And then if you're teaching him, hey, fam, listen, it's fucked up, but look at these laws. These laws were designed in this way, and though it doesn't say black men, you are the one who's targeted. But check it out. There's this law, and this law that can help you fucking clear up that case, and there's this, and this that can get you over here where you're trying to be. Now you want to join this group because it's also dedicated to this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think
because if the white guy could do it, if the white guy could figure out how to get out of his case, you can too.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the law sees no color. The law sees no color. If you read up and you learn on how to get out of this case or whatever the case may be, you learn how to move up in the politician world, guess what? Because he did it, you can do it too. There's no law that says that you can't do that.
Establishing precedent and removing shadows of doubt is what the courts see. You have to establish the precedent and remove the shadow of doubt. And bro, like that to me is critical race. Like, let's talk critical race fucking theory, bro. Yes, there was laws established in certain ways. Yes, there was new ones that came along. Yes, these ones took care of this one. Yes, boom, 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 boom. But not, fuck, dude. Sam's dad. Like, you can't teach him that Sammy's.
But if there wasn't people that tried to make that better, we wouldn't be in the country that we are in now. Those laws would still be in place if there wasn't people that try to make that better.
America fucking rules, dude. I don't care what no one says.
Crystal Water says, but she said, I don't know about y'all, but I learned about CRT in college. She can speak more to that. That I don't know.
We need
like I said,
document.
I need to learn more about it. But in terms of, just like hearing about it, if it's truly just looking at history through a microscope, I don't think necessarily there's anything wrong with that.
No, because there's things that have been put in place to try and help colored people progress after that.
Yeah, but also like you guys are, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like you're taking like the worst case scenario where somebody does feel that way. What if like looking at the pitfalls, they're like, oh shit, like how do I figure out how to like get out of this? Exactly how you said, being incentivized to do better within their community, within themselves, how to clear up.
No, absolutely. There definitely is cases of that because of CRT. I'm not denying that at all. But let me ask you a question. What's the better way to get somebody to do that? By showing them how they're behind or by showing them how they can get ahead?
You probably both.
I would say the latter, right?
I think
if you show somebody how they can get ahead instead of showing them how they're behind.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's beneficial to block one over the other.
So you don't think if a teacher sat down with you and said, Damien, you are the lowest in this class, bro. And this is where you haven't done this right. You haven't done this right. But Peter over here, this is what he's doing right. This is what he's doing right. I know that you kind of are lacking in some of these things.
I go, yo, Pete,
you got this wrong.
Let's fucking link up after class. What the fuck am I doing wrong? Why don't I get this fucking trigonometry?
But if a teacher sits down and says, hey, Damien, I know that you've been trying your hardest. This is what the points where I think you can work harder on. This right here, and then this right here.
I think
Like
that's
what?
fine, but no. I think that's fine. But and this is good old Jordan Peterson coming in clutch again. You need and
Our boy JP.
I think
Dude.
you only need. Wait, what? What's up?
I just think it's funny if we're like, we're not going to get political, guys. We're going to keep this straight.
it's
Next
literally
thing,
an hour
critical
40.
race theory. We're an hour and a half deep.
No, but I
My
think-
man busts out a Jordan Peterson quote, baby. We're in.
No, I think because one, I like his philosophy. I think a lot of it's really cool. Anyway,
I know. I literally, for the record, guys that are listening to this podcast, either live or back on the playback, I literally text this group an hour before we went live and said, "Can we keep the politics to a minimum,
right.
please?"
But also, Pachan already had the whole.
I know. I know.
I'm
topics.
sorry. I didn't mean.
No,
that.
I think it's a good thing. I like talking about this.
We need to
shit.
make the next episode like some fucking.
Super
We gotta play some
politics.
games. Yeah. No, fuck no.
Yeah,
We gotta play
we're
some
getting
weird
deep.
games and ask people weird questions. Pull out a couple dicks. Like, all
Um,
right, go ahead, D. What were you saying?
what was I saying?
Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're
Jordan-
good.
Jordan Peterson.
Oh,
you
Jordan
like his-
Peterson. So I think it's good advice to have something you're running from and something you're running to. What I always take that as is like, know your pitfalls. You have to know where you're gonna fuck up or where in the past you haven't done well or this is against you. That doesn't need to be the defining factor of your character and the reason to be resentful for things. I think that's an important thing to take into consideration as well. And the teacher's job is not only to show you, hopefully, yeah, we're not only you're wrong, but also this is how you could be better. This is how the world could be better for you. And that's what the teacher's job's for. So why not show them where their pitfalls are? And you could say that it envelops or it can cause them to feel like they're divided. But like that's also the teacher's job to say, this is how you guys are the same, and this is how awesome the world is, and this is how awesome the U.S. is. That you could be anything you want to be.
Did you learn about slavery when you were in high school?
I think so, yeah.
Is that not enough?
I mean, couldn't you always know more?
Is that not the biggest pitfall for black people?
No,
But couldn't you know more? Like, couldn't you know how it could relate to things nowadays? Do you think I think you guys said this earlier. Do you think that just because the world is different now, that there's not remnants? What is it called? Like just residue from things that were structurally in place before. Why not talk about the things and how they've evolved and how you could make them better by acknowledging that they're there to begin with?
that's true.
Sure.
Right.
Sure, I can see that.
I could see where we could still get to that point where I think maybe I'm at a pass where, as far as, I don't disagree with looking at history through a microscope. I have the problem with the curriculum, right? Because if we're going to look at stuff through a microscope, let's look at it, right? And if we're going to start talking about, let's say specifically in America, because this is an American thing, bro. I don't think they teach it this way out in other countries.
Definitely don't teach in India.
But the thing is,
I
like, we're
might be
sitting
wrong.
here talking about the curriculum, but none of us have gone through the curriculum.
This is where I'm interested. This is where I'm interested. So if we're going to sit here and talk about how America, right, and how it's racial,
Yes.
and how it's
I want to give a little bit of insight on.
Sorry, she wants to. This is her first appearance on the podcast.
Hello.
Okay, tell her to move closer to the mic so we can hear her.
I don't want to be on camera because I'm shy. Oh, nobody watches.
Okay, move closer.
Sorry.
Move closer to the mic so we can hear you. We can see you.
I'm kidding. No,
What
because
did
I
she
was
say?
gonna say, you guys are talking about CRT, and I think it's like, because I said in the chat, like, I learned it in college, and that's why the reason I said that, and it's not to flex, but it was more so to say, like, well, because I never heard about CRT being in high school, and I don't understand why there was any people saying that it was being taught to kids like Peanut. Or like
It's being
high school
pushed.
people. You learn about like the civil rights movement and stuff, and like the big things that happen with the division of like black and white people, whatever. But like, for example, CRT, when I was learning about it in college, it was never, yes, you learned about like the way that things were like how things were divided with like housing and the redlining, all that. Yes, that's a chapter. But then it like leaks into like, well, how you may encounter today. I know you guys are gonna like this word, but it talks about microaggressions and all that stuff. And it talks about little things like, just like, for example, one thing that I remember learning about is like Planned Parenthood, being that most Planned Parenthood clinics are primarily in like Black and brown communities, never really in like white communities, and how that could be like some sort of like racial discrimination now. But it was more so just kind of being like, well, theory, yeah, like just kind of talking about these theories, nothing that was proven, nothing that was like based in fact, just kind of analyzing like history, what it was then and what it could be now, even if it's not as Black and white as it was before. That's it. I just wanted to let you guys know that's what I learned in high school in my classes. I mean, in high school, in college, in my classes.
Yeah. First appearance.
So yeah, I love it. Crystal Waters.
I like, I was like, bro, I wish I still had my booklets and everything, because I had like a whole like quarter, like just kind of based on that. And like, because in my school, and I'm pretty sure all schools like do the whole like DEI courses that you have to take and stuff like that. So that was part of that.
So if you want to learn that in college, I have no issue with that at all. I have not a problem with it. They teach Mexican studies. They teach all types of stuff in college. That if you have the interest, you sign up for the class and teach it. What I have an issue with, and this is what Ron DeSantis kept from Florida, was it was trying to be pushed into high schools. And the Democratic Party is trying to push it into high schools. That is what I have the issue with.
I could see that happening if you want to do like AP classes, but I don't see how that would be changed into like actual history, like GE, like curriculum. That doesn't make sense. It seems like it would be too much on one topic.
Exactly, and that's what. But there are states ran by the left that want to implement that into high school teachings, and that's the issue that I have.
Oh, okay.
Wait, but like,
yeah, if you want to learn that in college, by all means, take that shit, bro. People take dance, people take, like I said, Native American studies, Mexican studies, or Spanish studies. Like, there, if you want to learn that in college, you have the right to elect what classes you want to take when you go to college, because then they might, that it might move you further in the career that you want to take. But my issue is implementing that into a curriculum when in high school is the issue that I have.
Wait, but that, two things. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, you have electives within high school that also sometimes coincide with like college level courses to further your development if if you're in higher education. And then two, it doesn't feel like then your issue is with CRT in general, because I feel like if you had the stance of it actually perpetuating division, then you wouldn't want it to be taught at all, not just not in college courses, but at all.
No, because of yes, I do have an issue with it creating some type of division. But as an adult, you can choose to learn whatever the fuck you want.
To learn whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, honestly, as an adult, like you have.
We're already divided between Democrats and Republicans based off of what we choose to learn.
I just think it's a goofball fucking thing. Like,
wouldn't the betterment of, if you really believe that it's and I'm not trying to say that like you don't actually believe this. I'm just asking if that's what the actual sentiment that it is that you have, that it creates division. I would imagine it's a net positive to take it out completely. That you wouldn't even want that in colleges.
Absolutely, but there's all different types of things that I could like. I don't think dance being taught in high school is extracurricular, where if you take it in college, then it becomes a class. Do you see what I'm saying? Like there's a benefit to one and a non-benefit to the other.
In so much as
does that make sense?
A class versus an elective, or what do you mean?
Correct. Like you chose to take that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to learn, like what I'm saying is, let me put it to you like this: if you're taking psychology as your major and you want to learn about critical race theory because you think that it will help you move further with the colored population, then by all means take it. You have the right to do so as an adult in college. Am I making sense?
Hold on. Here's one way I could look at it for high school, right? Well, and for me, I just don't like the class. I think it's weird, right? I don't mind it being taught. I see the usages for it. I don't see it being implemented properly. I I truly just see it as a goofy class because look at the name, critical race theory. There's like really no other classes that is just based solely on what we know to be just like a theory. Like
Yes, there is. Yes, there is, and that's why I disagreed with the fact that they took history out of high school and changed it to social studies. It should remain history and not social studies. Social studies is
I get what you're saying with that. I get what you're saying. Like
because critical race theory is taught in social studies, not in history.
not in history. True. I didn't think about that. But what else?
Yeah, history should
what
be
else
the
is like
class, not social studies.
a purely theorized thing. There's other than things that are based in like to have things based off of like what a microaggression can be is rough for me, right? Like how do you prove what a microaggression is? Where history, like you're saying, right, we can truly track down. And
Well, history is the facts of what happened, right? Social studies is the studies of all the social things that have
so
happened.
I don't mind somebody in college, right? And truly, if you want to take this class because you want to specialize in civil reform, right? You're a young black man and you want to major in civil reform. Critical race theory is something that you should probably be studying, so that you
Absolutely.
have
Psychology, like I said, too, the same thing. You know what I mean? Or any child services, anything like that. And if you want to learn about those things, then now you have the elective to do that. Yeah, I'm sorry if that was misconstrued earlier. My thing is, I was talking about the left trying to implement that, and I think it has been implemented in certain states in high schools. And I know Ron DeSantis like kept it from being implemented in Florida. Like that was a really big thing for him, or it was already implemented and then he took it all out or some shit like that.
Yeah, there was schools. I think there was a couple schools I got to teach it or some shit. Because that's where now, and I don't particularly.
No, I'm just listening.
Oh,
like I don't particularly like the idea of. I don't particularly like the idea of the argument that we're having over the Board of Education. Its abolishment, I think, is fucking nuts. But I see how in your state, if your state doesn't want something, then how can the feds mandate it still to be taught? Because like you could look at other classes as a reference too, right? Like maybe your state doesn't want kids participating in ROTC, right? Like they can't force them to participate in ROTC. But when it comes to these type of classes, bro, like in high schools, my thing is like how like if you don't go to college and if you don't pursue some type of career with it, what purpose does this thing truly serve to you other than just bringing your awareness to it? Like that's for like my high schoolers, right?
yeah. I think there is a purpose. I just think that the thinking behind the purpose is in my opinion, I feel it's malicious.
I think it's being implemented to be malicious, which is my red flag. Like when anybody comes around trying to tell me stuff, even when it comes to my own people, like I get red flags, bro. Like, bro, what do you want from me? Like I feel like they're about to ask me for money or something whenever they start telling me shit like this. Like what the fuck?
It's time for you to go to bed.
Oh, bedtime alarm.
So sorry, my thing turns back on whenever it's on the charger.
My boy,
like I said, yeah, I'm trying to be very hesitant whenever I speak about anything now, just because I don't want to sound like overconfident on anything that I genuinely just don't know enough about. And then also,
who'd you get fact checked by?
What?
Who did you get fact checked by? Did the FBI get to you, dude?
No, I think it's just important to know the course of events. That's all. I'm just like in this. I think what frustrated me a lot was with the whole Donald Trump thing and like him being elected. I kept asking people like, why are you voting? I still don't think I ever really got a clear answer from almost anybody. And then following that, like trying to figure out within Donald Trump's own content what he his like policies are within his presidential run, I just want to be more knowledgeable on like why people.
Well,
are
you also
doing
have to remember it's kind of like what Corpse said on the last episode we did. It's a continuance.
I think
So
that's
look
fine,
at what he
but
said in
like,
2016.
but we can't. But why not point to that then? Nobody was able to point to that. Even in our group chat that we had, we had some, and I actually let. I mean, I'm not going to say their names, obviously, but they had pointed out something that, looking back, I was saying like, thanks for at least pointing out something. But in looking back, I saw the clip that they were referring to, and I was like, this is also just like, this isn't anything really. This is just him saying like stuff.
Well, I think it's just I think it's more so because the motherfucker doesn't know how to speak very well. That because it's not concise and direct enough for you, like it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Like
if anything-
you like for people to be direct and concise,
But what's annoying is that
or
I've
not
heard
implied.
so many. What's annoying is that I've heard so many people say that Trump isn't one to like beat around the bush. He's very direct, and I don't get that from him at all.
Who the fuck said that?
I feel like I've heard so many people just be like, "Oh yeah, Trump is like different. He's not like every other politician who just goes around and fucking dances around the question. He's gonna answer you how it is. He says it as it is. He says it like it." Bro, that's
shot.
like been the exact reason people have
Literally
stated
everything that he does.
That's yeah.
You're going to
absolutely,
get
man.
the weave from Donald Trump whenever he answers a
The
question.
weave is like such a and I heard that I was like that's such cope, bro. Like you just don't know how to speak like to a regular person. Like that's it. It just frustrated me too because I was like I don't know your policy, and like to also argue on my side a little bit, like I don't necessarily I just know that she has policy that I could like point to, period. And even like the couple that I know of, I haven't like gone deep dive into the opposite side, like on the left, because there's just so much more that I want to know about why people like and are striving or like leaning towards the right. And there's just so much. Like, there's so much that I just don't know. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, it feels like I've been driving a car for 25 years, and I'm like, oh yeah, like this is my car. I know how it works, whatever. Then my fucking engine blows up, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm on the side of the road. And I don't know how any of this shit works because now I'm like looking into everything, and everything links to something else and something else and something else. And I need to know how all these things operate independently and together, and why the things that are happening are either bad or good. And that's like, it's just a big realization for me that I'm like, damn, I don't know enough at all. So yeah.
Well, keep learning, bro. I think I think Corpse can agree with me on this, and this will be my last statement I'll make, no matter what you guys say. I think Corpse will agree with me on this, and I think Corpse and I have both been in that situation, especially when we were left leaning. And after research and learning about, going through our own research and learning about things, listening to people, and taking things into consideration on what we both have, researched. That's why we're both on, leaning towards the right.
That's fair. And I hope, listen, if I'm not even trying to say that I'm like, what is it, blue no matter who. I can care less. As long as the side that I'm on has good ideas, that's all I care about. Like I don't know if you'll believe me. I would have voted for Donald Trump if I agreed with his policies, but I couldn't find any. And so that's why I didn't vote for him. And there were policies on the other side that I'm sure I don't agree with, that that Kamala could have brought up, that I didn't catch, or that I don't know of, that I wouldn't have agreed with. And that might have skewed my vote, whatever it may be. I'm not trying to say like one way or the other, but yeah.
You'll learn soon enough.
Interesting.
Nick Merck said it best, bro. As you get older, you'll lean to the right.
That guy's cringe.
I mean, listen, dude. I was a fucking, and I'm gonna say it 100 times over. I was a full blown socialist when I was 18 years old, coming out of high school, bro. Like full fucking blown. And I don't even want to say like, oh, I'm a Republican now, like just because I voted for Donald Trump, like, But this whole thing of you vote this way, you're this way now. Like, nah, fuck that. Like, I don't fuck with Kamala Harris. Never have, never will. Like, I know her rap sheet. I know the things that she's done. Her policies I do not fucking fuck with. Like, she was not running on any of the democratic fucking principles that I know to be true, that I've known my whole fucking life. Like I was saying, like, they didn't even, she like, I don't know. For me, the political space has became so polarizing, right? And we even kind of talked about this earlier too in the pod, where it's like, I've lost friends, right? And, you know, a lot of my family members all voted one way and then had a full-blown argument with the other one and blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's cool, bro. Like, you know, just, I will remember this shit, fam. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will remember this shit. And if my person doesn't do well or doesn't maintain a lot of the things that he said, you know what? We can address that and we can address that. You know what I mean? But if he does all the things and is this great person and you live in prosperity, I just hope they come and apologize to me. Cause it's like, y'all said some crazy shit. It reminds me of COVID when people are like, oh, you didn't take the vaccine. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Bro, I don't
you
even want
know,
to get into this.
they call me like, oh,
Get the
this
fuck
and
out of
that.
here.
And then it's like, now you see people with myocarditis or what is it? Myocarditis or whatever.
Myocarditis.
And all these
Yeah.
fucking effects from the shit. Bro, I don't even take the flu vaccine. I'm not taking that shit. Fuck off. So I'm like, you know, we could like, but there's people who owe some apologies because there was a lot of shit said. And
I don't even want an apology, bro. Personally, from anybody that unfollowed me for anything that I ever said or did, I don't even want an apology.
My thing,
I
though,
just
is
hope
like,
that you enjoy the prosperity of what was brought.
I think no, never mind. I'm not gonna get into that point. But what I was gonna say, my thing too is that like your absence just makes the other side more polarized. Like, why not just stick around, chill, chat? Maybe you'll convince them that, you know, your side is better because hopefully you have better
But I
rhetoric.
don't even care about that. I don't care about anybody thinking that my side is
No,
better.
not better,
What
but
I
just
care,
like a better. It will produce a better society. Like, there's reasons
what
why
I
you
care
think
about more. What I care about more is the society being able to talk to each other, regardless of what you
that's
view as
what
better.
I'm saying, though, is that on the other side, like whatever side you're on, your absence in people's lives who, you know, were your friends, were your family, whatever it may be, and you want to push them to the side because you don't necessarily agree with them, only makes them more isolated and more radicalized on whatever side they're on, because it's like now they don't even have your voice that could have been the voice of reason on the other side that would have brought them like, oh shit, maybe I actually do believe in like XYZ or whatever it may be, and this person has actually like good viewpoints on whatever it is, economy, I don't know, whatever you want to say.
Bro, you know, one thing, well, there's two. There's two things that I really liked hearing over these last few weeks. And the two actually happened within these last few fucking days. But especially with all the political shit going on. I was waiting for like these big speeches or these little quotes that was going to stick with me. One was from Kamala Harris. She said, I will not give up the fight in which this campaign was birthed on.
Built on,
Or
yeah,
built on, yeah. Right. And I was like, yes, like that. Yes. Okay. Like, you guys just stick to your values, right? Like, if, you know, and I don't believe her charade, but it's a good message. The next was the Democratic Party. There was, who was it? I think it was Obama. But the Democrats have pretty much came together and said, you know what? It's not the result we wanted, but hopefully we can move forward. I think I think Obama said it. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah, he tweeted it, or he like had a long ass letter on Instagram or some shit like that.
Like, thank you. Like, that's all that needs to be said. You know what I mean? Like, you guys lost, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, do I truly think, you know, the Dems can bounce back? Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got to see who steps up. Like, you know, you got 4 years, bro, to get the next person ready. You know, and there is some good, valuable options out there. But
if it's against Vivek,
it's going to be rough versus anybody who's in that little clique right now, because the non-Trumpers, right, the never Trumpers, they're that coalition, that little group, they're just not strong enough. I'm scared. If my fears come true, what we'll have afterwards is you will no longer have normal politicians, and you will have businessmen holding political offices. And the next thing, it'll be celebrities. You will have somebody like Kanye West as press secretary or some shit. You know what I mean? And you'll start to see the movement into like, what is that called? Like an oligarchy? Isn't that oligarchy where it's like the ruling elites? You know what I'm saying? You'll start to see that happen, and that's scary.
Wait, but
And that's
isn't that what's like kind of happening now with like Elon Musk like being such a big voice within?
No, because he's not part of the Senate.
I
mean,
think or
no,
the cabinet. I think that's one of their hesitancies about having him in the cabinet.
Wait, but also didn't he say that he would make? I don't know what position it was, but some
Department of
something-
Government Energy or
something like
efficiency.
that, right?
Doge. That's a joke.
He made what RFK Jr. the head of some health division.
Yeah,
I
the U.S.
didn't
Health
even know
Department
what
or
it
some shit like that.
was. No,
Yeah,
All
but
right, close it out, D.
that was crazy. Yeah,
I know you gotta go to
we'll
sleep.
get into a whole different thing. All right.
Hey, okay, for the next episode,
Listen,
we're
I'm
not
bringing
going to
my
talk about
notes,
politics.
and we're gonna go.
We're
run through all
not
of
going to
this
talk
again.
about politics for the next episode. This has been like 3 episodes in a row. We're not
Good.
talking
I like
about
it.
politics.
You don't like it?
the
I like it.
I
biggest
do,
election
but we're not a
of our lifetime.
political fucking podcast.
Could be though.
Hey, dude, there was a solid like 4 or 5 episodes where we would talk about one thing and then it would end with transgenders every single
That's
time,
true.
bro.
I know.
Every
Yes,
time.
please. I don't think anybody wants to watch us if we
Can we get
continue
back
to
to the
fucking talk about
transgenders?
politics. Can we just keep asking Damien to fucking pull his dick out or something?
Let's just stick to the transgenders. Show
No, I don't want
show
to.
your dick, dude. It's gonna be okay, guys. I hate women. You know, back to your usual programming, people. We're sorry.
All right, D, close this out, baby.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.
What a
Usual
way,
Tuesday.
dude.
The Usual Tuesday podcast. Listen, it was a clusterfuck, but go do your research. Have fun. Be safe. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here, whether it be for a minute, an hour, the whole thing, or maybe you're on the playback. We appreciate you. Peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the Usual Tuesday podcast, the usual political podcast that we've created, I guess.
Political Tuesdays.
Thank you to our community. I thank you guys so much. We're not talking about politics next week. I promise you guys. I promise we're not going to talk about politics next
Come
week.
back next week where I trash Vivek.
All right, we're talking about politics next week. There's no way you're trying to do it back. But as always, you guys stay healthy, stay happy. I love you. Keep smiling, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Big Corpse, corpsecollection.com. You guys know the drill. I always do a little sign off. But this one is just for Veterans Day. Yeah, thank you to all the veterans out there, all the people who have served the country, all of those who went out there and didn't come home, and all those who came to a place that didn't quite feel like home anymore. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. Welcome home, soldiers. Till next time.
You. Very true.
All right, boys.
All right, boys. You guys
Peace out,
take
guys.
care. Love y'all.
Be safe. Be safe. Bye.